Hey guys, we have here the JBL Quantum 100 gaming headset, and unfortunately one of the ear cups stopped working on this headset. In this case this is here the left side. So in this video we want to explain to you how to diagnose this problem and how we can eventually fix it. Since it is the left side that stopped working for us in this case, this side is the only one that we have to open up. In case for you it is the right side that stopped working, then you may have to open up both ear cups. Luckily this is really easy to do. Simply just take your finger with the best fingernail that you have and just feel around in there on the side here, and you should find like some little plastic ring, and just try to put your fingernail right behind that plastic ring and then try to pry off the entire padding here, the cushion. So you see here, this is the plastic ring that I was talking about. We do want to avoid pulling on the leather, otherwise we may damage it, unfortunately. Okay, so then let's have a look at the ear cup now. So and here we find 4 screws that hold this plastic cover in place, so let's remove all those. And now in order to remove the cover, we use a small flat blade screwdriver that we put into this little hole here that we find at the top. And now we can remove the plastic cover, but we want to be really careful doing this because this is connected with 2 little wires here to this motherboard there. See this? So don't accidentally pull this too far, otherwise you may rip off one of the cables or even both, and then we have extra work in order to fix this problem. Okay, so now let's have a look at the components that we are dealing with here. So first we have here the cable that comes in from the outside. And that splits up into 5 smaller wires. We see here the white one and this copper colored one on the right side. That's here for the microphone. And then we have 3 here on the left side, a blue one, a green one, and a red one. The blue one is the ground return, and then the red one is for the right channel, and the green one is for the left channel. Now all the wires are soldered onto the small PCBs that we find in here, and from there it goes here through the little dial that we have here for the adjustment of the volume, and then eventually those leads go all the way to the left here, and here this is where the driver for the left ear cup is connected to. Of those 4 connections here, those are the 2 on the right, and then we have 2 more connections on the left, and those go over to the right ear cup. Now in order to find out what is actually wrong with our headphones, we're going to start by looking at the transducer, or here the driver of the left ear cup. And we try to figure out if this speaker here, if the driver is still working. And we can do this really easily by simply connecting these 2 red wires here. So this one and then that one, we connect these together, and we're doing this while we're actually playing music. So I have these headphones right now connected to my computer, and it's playing a song. And now when we take just a simple paper clip and we connect the 2 red wires together, eventually we're going to hear some music out of the speaker here. So this means that the speaker of our left ear cup is still okay, and this is not the problem. Now if in your case you don't hear any music coming out of this, then it's time to open up the speaker here. Now technically I don't have to do this right now, but just in order to show you how this is done, I'm going to do this anyway. And when we take a look at the back side here, then we see here this little seam here, and there's a lot of glue that goes around there, and we have to break open this glue strip. So what I'm going to do is here, I used this flat blade screwdriver and I went along this seam and I pushed really heavily into every single location. You hear a little cracking sound, that means that the glue is breaking up. And when you do this all around here, then eventually you're going to be able to remove this cover, and we're going to see the inside of the driver, and you can follow now the 2 wires here, the black one and the red one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check here if these 2 wires are still properly soldered onto the driver itself. Now in our case this is here okay, but if one of these wires is disconnected, then all you have to do is resolder them onto this little tiny PCB. Now if you believe that the driver itself the mechanics inside are the problem, then unfortunately I have to tell you, this is unlikely to be fixed, so it may not be worth your while and you just have to get new headphones. But now let's continue with our diagnosis. And in order to do that, we first make sure that we disconnect our headphones from our computer, and we also require now a multimeter. And we need to put this into the continuity mode. So we see here's this little dial, and I'm going to rotate this into the continuity mode. That's this little symbol here that you see in the lower right corner, just like this. And what this does is, as soon as we get an electrical contact between the two probes that we have here, so the red one and the black one, when these get in contact either with each other directly, then it's going to beep. So it indicates, hey, there's electricity flowing. And so this is the way that we're going to continue our tests here. So now we're going to check the small PCB here, and we're going to check if the solder joints are okay and if the contact is continuously going through here the little dial, and then also here to the solder joints on the other side. So we're going to start out with the ground return, which is the blue wire here on the right side. So this is this little solder joint here, and then the black wires on the left side, and we're going to just make contact here to every single solder joint on the left side. We should be able to hear the little beeping sound everywhere. So this means this line, the ground return, is okay. And then we're going to repeat the same thing with the left and the right channel, but here we just check the red wires. Now, since we did find continuity between all of the test points that we just checked, we know that this PCB is okay, and we can continue our search for the problem. And we are now already at the last test point that we're going to check, and that is the wire and the connector. So the wire that goes to our computer. And we have here the connector, and on that connector we find four separate sections. So we have the first outward, which is responsible for the left audio channel. Then the next one is for the right audio channel. Then the third one, that's the ground return. And the last one, that is for the microphone. So we can now check for continuity again between these sections here of the connector and the PCB. So that's where the wires are connected. So I'm going to start here with the microphone. And what should happen is that we should be able to detect continuity when we touch the white wire, but we should not be able to detect anything when we get contact with any of the other joints here, points here. See, these are all quiet and only the white one gave us a signal. So then let's check the ground return. So we're going to check here the one on the far right. This should beep. Then the microphone should be silent, and then the blue one, that's also ground, that should beep as well. And then the next two, the left and the right channel, should be silent. Then we're checking the right audio channel. That's the red wire. So if we connect this here, we should hear a beep. And then on all the other four, it should again be silent. And then let's check the left audio channel. So this is the one that doesn't work. And here we're going to check first all the other ones, the four other ones that should be silent. See if they are silent. And they are. And then the left audio channel should beep, but it's not beeping. See, so this is a problem. So it looks like we are going to have a problem here with our cable. So either the cable, or it could also be the soldering joint here where the blue wire is connected. So we could see if we can just replace the soldering joint here. But my wild guess is that it is actually the cable itself here. So usually when we're looking at one of these auxiliary cables, those tend to kind of break eventually at very close to the connector that you plug into your computer. So you see here this bend here, this is usually a problem point. So in our case we have to replace the cable now. So unfortunately I don't have one here, and I will have to order one, and also the video would be way too long in order to show you how this is done, so I may do this in a different video. Okay, so this is already it here. I hope you found the video helpful. If you have any more questions or comments, then please leave a message below.